Unit Test O2 Class 1 Okthat Sub English Time 15 minute. 1.2 An encounter of a special kind marks 10K. R. Parshuramkar Saraswati Madhyamik Vidyalaya Jambhora. Ta. Mohadi. Dist. Bhandara K. 1a. Read the passage and complete the activities. Suddenly, I heard a group of street dogs barking furiously in the distance. I chose to ignore the commotion, thinking that the pack of dogs might have cornered a hapless pig. But soon, the barking became louder and more aggressive, and the alarmed cawing of a flock of crows added to the cacophony. I also heard the disturbance approaching closer. Curiosity got the better of me. Leaving the book aside, I rushed to the veranda to see what was going on. I glanced towards the roof of the clubhouse and saw something horrible. A big male langur, apparently the leader of its group, was holding a baby langur in his hands and mercilessly biting it all over. Lesser members of the langur group were scattered on the roofs of the buildings nearby watching the baby being killed. I recall the terrible custom in the animal clan according to which a dominant male usually does not allow another male baby or adult to survive within its group. Without losing any time, you gathered a stout stick in one hand and hurled a piece of stone at the marauding langur. The langur was so infuriated that it hardly took any notice of my assault. But then I started throwing more stones. The dogs on their part raised their pitch of cry. Unit Test A1. State whether the following statements are true or false. O2. A big male langur intend to kill the baby langur. E. The writer started throwing more stones at the big langur. E. The writer heard a group of dogs barking furiously at his home. IV. He gathered a stout stick and hurled a piece of stone at the barking dogs. A2. Arrange the following sentences in a correct order that occurred in the text. O2. 1. The langur was so infuriated that it hardly took any notice of my assault. 2. A big male langur was holding a baby langur in his hands. A3. Find out 4 adverbs from the passage. O2. A4. Do as directed. O2. The langur was so infuriated. Make it an exclamatory sentence. I rushed to the veranda. Choose a correct tag. A2. B. Did Ti. C. Did I. A5. What would you do if you found an injured bird while returning from your school? O2. By K. R. Parshuramkar Sat. Answer key. K1A. A1. True or false? I. True. E. True. E. False. I. Weak. False. A2. Sentences in a correct order. 1. The writer heard a group of dogs barking furiously in the distance. 2. A big male langur was holding a baby langur in his hand. 3. He gathered a stout stick and hurled a piece of stone at the marauding langur. 4. The langur was so infuriated that it hardly took notice of my assault. A3. Adverbs from the passage. Write any 4. I. Suddenly. E. Furiously. E. Apparently. I. Weak. Mercilessly. Weak. Usually. A4. Do as directed. I. How infuriated the langur was. E. I rushed to the veranda, didn't I? Question mark. A5. Personal response. Accept any other reasonable answer. If I found an injured bird while returning from my school, I would pick up it tenderly and bring it to home. I would put some drops of water in its mouth. I would examine its injury, apply medicines, and provide food. Then I would let it to the vet for the treatment. Thus, I would take its care until it recover and be able to fly. By K. R. Parshuramkar Sir, Saraswati Madhyamik Vidyalay, Jambhora.